Sani join us this evening. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Hind. Your thoughts on this entire WSO and its influence and what can be done? How can we counter this? Puneet Sahni and then Sushanji. Yes, Puneet.
Jai Bharati Anand. So, like I've been coming on your show and saying for 2 years that WSO is like, Muslim Brotherhood. And basically it has infiltrated all the organs of the Canadian state. So I understand, you put this chart up. I know it. Most of the people will forget the names. The question is what you are doing. That is the thing. So, we keep blaming, Canada and yes, of course. But the first thing, doing India. WSO is not a banned organization. WSO was all involved in this Kisan Andolan. So first fix your house and then blame Canada. And when you make this Canada, you made the case that they are trying to, damage India. All that is fair. Canada will not act on that. The case you have to make is WSO. Before the killings of Sikhs in Delhi, the WSO guy stood up on the inaugural on the inaugural address. He said, "We will not rest till we kill 50,000 Hindus." This is a genocidal call, and they have not taken back. You have to make the case that WSO, when this investigation was happening of this Kanishka bombing, that these people tried to, misdirect the investigation. And the judge, who is like John Major, he has basically noted in his report that these people are, trying to obstruct it. So this is what you have to, make this case that, these people are damaging the Canadian life. And then they will act on it. And from our side, what you said, I can tell you 100 more. But the question is why WSO is not banned. And I will tell you one more thing. When I said Modi ji has removed this blacklist or something. So if you look, when this WSO, they have pushed in a Canadian, like what you have museums, because the Canadians don't know anything. And we basically removed all this blacklist. So in that same period, in Modi period, they have basically in like their museums, they have created where all, like the Sikhs were killed by the Hindus. And not, people don't know more Sikhs than Hindus were killed by the Khalistanis in Punjab. And, there is nothing. All that has been avoided. And then they instituted like a organization called Insaf. And that is basically publishing all this Khalistani mass murderer and rapist. They are creating so much material that they were some religious warriors. And all the Sikhs that they have basically, removed, it has been done. So you have to understand, you don't know what you are getting into. You are in the midst of a religious war. They are taking little children. Like I give you one example, and I will rest for a bit. There was, after Bhindranwale, you said the most dangerous guy, his name was Gurbachan Singh Mano Chahal. Today, Mano Chahal is, by the way, his whole family is in Canada. Like all Khalistani mass murderers, all their families in Canada. That's how they went. But I tell you, this recently they were celebrating that Mano Chahal has died. He was a religious warrior. I showed. And that journalist who did this reportage, he's still alive. His name is Ramesh Vinay. He went to villages. It's not an opinion. He basically goes and asks people, the report is in India today. It's called Sexual Terrorism in Punjab. And in that, they tell the name of the people. It's a reportage. It's not an opinion. That Mano Chahal would go into Sikh houses and abduct Sikh women for his guys. So this guy used to abduct and rape Sikh women. And there is a video of that time that when Mano Chahal had died, he came from a village on the border of Pakistan in Tarantaran area. So when he died, and that village is almost entirely Sikh, those Sikhs are celebrating Diwali. That this guy was such a monster, that he was such a mass murderer and a psychopathic rapist. And these people are, celebrating that Mano Chahal was a religious warrior, and they are teaching this little children in the Gurdwaras. And there is no counterpoint from the Indian side. It's just like me or, a couple of other people who are making this noise. What the hell is Indian government doing? That is my question to you.
Sushant Sari.
Anand, I cannot but agree with what Puneet is saying. In fact, I remember many years back when we had first met, he had told me at that point of time that, this business of ending these blacklists and going soft on the Khalistanis, thinking that they are now reformed, is going to come back to bite us really hard. And frankly, within a couple of years, it has started us bite. But where is the counter narrative coming from us? Out here.
So Anand, I'll give you an example. These are fanatic, they are lunatics, they are, mentally stunted, whatever. But they are fanatic and committed in their cause. I'll give you an example. So Trudeau's, this was the second disastrous visit. The first was also a disastrous visit because he brought a Khalistani who was convicted for, attempt to murder. His name was Jaspal Atwan. He was from WSO, what we are showing. And he had basically said that WSO has funded my defense. Now you see like the Punjab terrorism, the greatest voice and who, surveyed dozens of, bomb blasts on his body. His name was Maninder Singh Bitta, Maninderjeet Singh Bitta. You ask him, you invite him sometime. That guy did not kill anybody. That guy got so many, bomb blasts on his body because he spoke against Khalistan terrorism. Do you know he's
Right.
fighting the case? These people, mass murderers, he's fighting with his own money. That these people, and all the
Got it.
money is coming from Canada to defend these suicide bombers and killers. So this is how the Indian state treats its own patriots. And this is, Khalistanis or whatever. But they take very good care of their mass murderers and terrorists.
So
But
some
the Indian
lessons
state
that we
is like,
need to
okay, you
learn
go
as
die.
to how to grow the flock which is patriotic, which is fighting for Ma Bharati. But on the other hand, you also have to develop device ways where you can break down the tentacles of this hydra, which is becoming an increasing threat for us geopolitically and also internally a huge cause for concern vis-a-vis internal security. Sushant, sorry.
I can just say
Sushant-
like one thing.
Ji.
I am speaking a Christian, and it's nothing. I've got everything. I don't.
Ji.
I don't want to say like I'm in a very good position and it's fine, and people are sacrificing. But I'm just honestly telling you, I'm in this for 3-4 years. There is no incentive, and you cannot imagine the cost you have to pay. To be a patriot and speak against this terrorist.
Right.
Whereas it should be completely the other way around. The terrorists should have cost
Right.
to pay, and the patriots should
Right.
have incentives to speak out their voice.
Right.